Hello, it's Greg Harrelson here again, coming at you from Contact Junkie, and just want to continue the video series on helping you increase your return on your investment on the leads that you have sitting dormant in your database right now. So that's what I want to talk about. Talk about how to tap into the thousands of dollars that you have, the profits that you have that are sitting dormant in your database, probably in some CRM, either in your computer or somewhere in the clouds. Let's go ahead and start though, and let me tell you what I did a year ago that kind of led us up to this situation or to this the context of this video. And that is, I took a list, a block of 5,000 leads that in my office my agents had deemed or tagged as dead. And they may have been non-responsive. They made a few attempts. They never got them on the phone. Or maybe they were non-active. They just were not doing any searching on the IDX. They showed no signs of life. So they were marked dead. And I was just wondering, I'm like, are these people really dead? And so what we did is I took 5,000 leads that had been marked dead, and I created a call team to call them. I gave them some scripts and some questions to ask, and I set them off to make some calls and texts. Now, I will tell you, it took numerous call attempts and numerous texts before we got the majority of these people to respond, but we got the responses, and then we started looking at the responses to see, were these leads really low quality? Or were they high quality and we just never got them on the phone? So these are 5,000 dead leads, and we asked them a few questions like, are you still thinking about buying? Did you already buy? Are you thinking about buying, and are you working with an agent? Are you thinking about buying and you don't have an agent? Did you actually sell something? When we did that, we found out that out of those 5,000 people, a large portion of them, a high percent of them, actually had done a transaction or were still thinking of doing a transaction. Now, this was a concern for a moment, and then I saw the opportunity, and the opportunity is like, holy crap, we've got a lot of people that are sitting dormant in our database that are still looking, but we think they're dead. And it's because they're dead to us, meaning they might not be responding to the auto emails that we have in with the search results that we have, or the search that we have set up for them. They're not responding to it, or maybe they're not even opening the emails that we're sending, and so we're saying, well, gosh, they're probably dead, or they're not interested, they're no good. Or maybe we're looking at them on our website and we see that they're not doing any searches. They're not saving any searches. There's no activity. They're non-active. So then we say, well, they're dead. They're not worth anything. Well, the light went off in my head, and I said, wait a minute. These people that we say are dead are only dead to us. They're not dead to somebody else. These are people that actually were dead to us, but they were alive for somebody else, and they did a deal. They're dead to us today. They're not responding to us, but they're still working with another agent, so they're responding to somebody else. They're dead to us. They're non-active on our website, but they're still in the market. So that means they're still searching on some other website. So dead leads are not necessarily dead leads. They just may be non-responsive to us at the moment. And we've got to figure out how to get these people on the phone, get engaged, so we can start being the agent that they're preferring to work with. So this is an issue that I'm finding with agents all across the country. It was an issue that I discovered in my own team, in my own companies. But then as I started coaching agents and talking to other agents, that have reached out to me, and I asked them questions, I find that they were experiencing the same thing, that there was so many people that have this category called dead leads in their database that they were no longer attempting to contact. So what you've got to do at this point is you've got to go ahead and start reaching out to them. And I think that there's two options. Number one, you can spend more time at going ahead and calling, emailing, texting, leaving voice messages on these leads. You can invest the time to do that. And I'm telling you, it's worth it. Start the year. Start immediately making more attempts on these people that you actually thought would never do anything. But you have to call them like 3 times a day or text them 3 times a day for multiple days in a row, and they will respond. They'll see that you're putting in so much effort to reach them. The law of reciprocity will kick in, and they'll respond. They may say, I already bought, but any response is a good response. Because every time you see somebody respond, I already purchased, I already sold, that should register in your mind, oh my goodness, this is an opportunity I lost. But more important, I see the opportunity. I'm not going to lose it next time. So option number one is to spend more time physically going in and making all these attempts for multiple days in a row. Take your dormant leads and say, I'm going to attempt to reach them 5 or 6 times a day for 5 days straight and see what happens. I can assure you, you're going to get these people to respond. Some have already bought, some are still looking, some have already sold, some are still considering selling, and you're going to have the opportunity to work with these people that you thought were dead. Now, the other way, of course, is to use a system like we are promoting, Contact Junkie, to do this for you. You can actually do this in bulk, or you can do this in one-off by using automation and dripping on them at the proper time, like 9 in the morning. Text them. At 9:15, leave a voicemail. Did you get my text? At 11 o'clock, send an email. At 2 o'clock, go ahead and text again. Say, hey, I'm sure you're busy. I just wanted to reach out to you one more time. Make sure you saw the message. And then eventually you repeat the same thing the next day and the next day and the next day. They are going to respond. It may take 8, 9, 10, 11 attempts to get them to respond. But you know what? If you're dropping them into a system like Contact Junkie and it's doing it for you, it doesn't take your time to make all those attempts, and you get to reap all the benefits of an increased ROI and higher profitability. I hope that information helps. I thought it would be good for me to explain the, kind of how I came up with how I identified the challenge. It was just kind of randomly taking 5,000 dead or dormant leads in our database and do some back testing to see what actually really transpired with those leads. And I was really amazed and wowed by how many of those people actually were good leads. They were just not people we got to engage by making that first 1 or 2 or maybe 3 attempts. After 1, 2, or 3 attempts, we quit on them, and then they just continued, focusing on their mission, which was to buy or sell a piece of real estate, and we missed that opportunity. So I don't want you to miss that opportunity. Please take my advice. Start working those dead lead databases and watch how you're going to improve your results. I'll talk to you soon.